What if I told you there's a pill capable of turning a failed writer into an absolute genius in a matter of hours? Sounds like one of those internet guru promises, right? But that's exactly how Eddie Morra's story begins. And trust me, you'll want to stick around until the end, because it only gets worse, or better, depending on your level of desperation. Eddie is the classic guy full of ideas and zero results. He has a contract to write a book, but he's more focused on being deep than actually productive. During lunch, his girlfriend Lindy basically hands back his keys and her patience, ending the relationship with the classic "you're going nowhere" speech. And honestly, hard to disagree. Shortly after, wandering through New York like a defeated indie film protagonist, Eddie runs into Vernon, his ex-brother-in-law, who shows up out of nowhere with that suspicious "I've got something that'll change your life" pitch. Vernon introduces him to an experimental drug, NZT-48, and since Eddie clearly has nothing left to lose except his dignity, he takes it. The moment he does, everything changes. Eddie becomes a mix of genius, lawyer, philosopher, and productivity guru. He helps his landlord's wife with a legal brief, cleans his disaster zone apartment, and writes hundreds of pages in a single night. The next day, he's back to normal, but with physical proof that he was a genius for a few hours. But like everything good in Hollywood, there's a catch: side effects. Eddie goes back to Vernon for more, only to find something far less pleasant. Vernon is dead, and the apartment is trashed. Naturally, Eddie does what any upstanding citizen would do, grabs the hidden stash of drugs, and quietly leaves before the police complicate his life. With more NZT in hand, Eddie becomes unstoppable. He learns languages, plays piano, gets in shape, and still finds time to become a stock market prodigy. Within days, he's a millionaire, surrounded by luxury, parties, and questionable decisions, including taking a loan from a Russian loan shark who clearly doesn't tolerate late payments. But then things start to get strange. Memory blackouts, uncontrollable behavior, and a possible connection to a murder. This is where the movie shifts into that, wait, is this turning into Fight Club but with less soap and more Wall Street vibe? Desperate, Eddie discovers that other users of the drug suffered devastating consequences. Some died, others were completely ruined. Still, quitting NZT cold turkey is basically a death sentence. In other words, he's trapped inside the very upgrade he once dreamed of. Meanwhile, enemies start closing in from all sides: mobsters, powerful businessmen, and even questionable allies. Eddie has to use everything he's learned and all his enhanced intelligence to survive, secure his supply, and of course, stay on top, because apparently being normal is no longer an option. In the end, after manipulating situations, defeating his enemies, and essentially hacking his own evolution, Eddie makes a bold claim. He no longer needs the drug, he's permanently improved. Of course, whether that's true or just another brilliant move, that's left open. The movie is based on the book The Dark Fields, and Bradley Cooper himself helped develop the film adaptation, meaning he didn't just act, he also put his intelligence into the production. Now, tell me, if you had access to NZT-48, would you risk everything to become the best version of yourself? Or would you rather not find out the price of that upgrade? And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like so this video can reach more people. And if you enjoy stories like this, with twists, big decisions, and characters who play with their own minds, you need to check out the latest video on the channel. Trust me, it'll mess with you just as much as this one.